Jamie here from InkyandScrappy, sharing with you today another one of my party theme decors for InkyandScrappy stamp set series featuring MFT's Farm-tastic stamp set. I'm also going to pull in some Lawn Fun, Tiny Farm Friends, and of course that barn. So because you saw that I colored a whole ton of tractors and I might have colored a few more than I needed, I figured I would make some cupcake picks. So these will get tucked inside the cupcakes for the party. And so I'm going to do a whole bunch of just tractors. Now I have the die set for this one, so it made it super easy to just die cut a whole bunch of green tractors without the actual coloring on to do as my back, so I could sandwich them. That way it gives it a more finished look. You wouldn't need to do this step. I just like to have things look pretty from both sides, especially when I'm doing these types of things. Now I also die cut a whole bunch of that, I don't know, scrolly shape. This is a Spellbinders die. It nestles inside of the other one, like the bigger ones, and so it kind of goes with that whole theme. I'm just building these to make some number ones. Now, depending upon what you have for stamps and or dies, you could do just big number ones. If I had a large die set that was like a one, like one of those bigger, bulkier sets for a number one, I would have just done a number one instead of having a backer. But this way I get that number one on there because that's how old he will be, and then the tractor as well. I will come back and do a couple more at the end because I'm going to have leftover pieces that I know that I'm going to have, so I come back and do a few more. Now I thought it would be fun to make the back part of so this would be like for his cake smash cake, or for maybe they have a smaller cake. I don't really know for sure how it's all going down. This is just me being the auntie that I am, extra. And so I wanted to bring in and do, I thought a tractor wheel would be kind of fun. So I'm just using a scalloped circle and then a regular yellow circle and a smaller yellow circle to give that same look of the wheel that you see on the stamped tractor image. I could have done some ink blending around to give it a little bit more definition, but ultimately it's party decor. And I don't want to spend too much time on those extra little things that maybe you'll notice in a card, but you probably won't notice for party decor that's probably going to get thrown away anyways, because it's probably going to end up with frosting on it and that stuff. So trying to, you make it extra, but it's not so much that it's going to be an extra time-consuming thing that it's, how you just don't send people cards that are going to throw them away. Well, this is kind of the same thing, because I know the party decor is probably going to get thrown away, so I'm not going to spend an exorbitant amount of time on it to make it look super pretty when I know it's just going to get thrown away. I did bring in some green, old, close to my heart embossing powder. I want to say it's Clover Meadow, which goes with my paper, which is Clover Meadow. And then I brought in the Tim Holtz Scripty word dies sentiment set. So I'm just taking that happy and that birthday from it, only because I can kind of curve this one to go around my wheel. And so also, if you get too much goop on the back, or aka glue on the back of your skinny die cuts like this, putting it on a piece of scratch paper will lift a lot of that off, and then you lift it up and then there's a nice even layer on the back. And that way you don't have so much ink seepage. At least for me, black cardstock seems to show when there is any amount of adhesive overage on it, as opposed to the yellow here, or even that green sometimes doesn't show, or pattern paper doesn't show it nearly as much either. So that is the back of my, we'll call it a cake topper because it's way bigger than a cupcake topper. So I wanted to do just a little mini scene on the front here for his actual cake topper. I want to go super light with my embossing ink, or with my Distress Oxide ink. Now my plan, I started at the bottom because I was hoping I could just go down with only one fill, but I ended up needing two. And so I was trying to get it below where I figured the grass was going to be. I figured, if I'm really heavy-handed, it won't matter because the grass is going to cover it anyways. It ended up covering it anyways, but I ended up dipping back in anyway. So if you're wondering why I did it the way I did it, that was why. So I did cut out the Build-A-Barn from Lawn Fawn for this one, and I'm just going to make a really simple red barn. Nothing too drastic or amazing. Nothing that flaps open, because ultimately it's a cake topper. You're not going to notice those small little, I mean, you might, but you're not going to sit there and open the top of the cake topper. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm going to build my little barn here, and then I will put that onto the front of my base here. And I want to say this is, so that biggest scallop circle is a Spellbinders Scalloped Circle, and I want to say it's a little over 4 inches. Maybe it's only 4 inches. And so this is the biggest circle that fits inside of that Scalloped Circle. I am bringing in Lawn Fawn's tiny farm to, you know, add some little critters to my farmyard here. I understand that they don't go exactly with my MFT stamp set, but it's the only set that I have that has this little cute tractor, and that was really what we were going for all of it, was the tractor. And so I stamped and colored those images to go with that stamp set. Now I could have used Lawn Fawn's Hey There stamp set for all the farm stuff, except they don't have a tractor in it. So, you know, and I just pulled sets from what I had. I'm pretty sure the MFT set is old, retired, but they do bring stuff back from retirement sometimes. I think Newton's Nook used to have a tractor set that was similar, or like similar size-wise. So just shop around and see. I just shop my stash, to be honest. But, you know, shop around and see what's there. I'm hoping Lawn Fawn comes out with a coordinating tractor for all of their farm stuff. That's just my hope, you know, because I might be an addict. But I'm just going to add a few little critters on there. And then I decided it needed, you know, I was trying to go between the black and the green. I, you know, didn't know which one I wanted. I think I ultimately ended up going with green here. Don't quote me on. No, I don't. I think I ended up going with black. I only know that because I put the green one away the other day. So I'm going to spell out his name on the front of this with Henry's mini, I think they're Henry's ABCs. Are they the mini ABCs maybe? I don't remember. I think they're Henry's mini ABCs. But I just lined them up. I kind of put the block, I'm off camera, I am sorry. So I lay the block over where I want it to kind of go. It's a circle. So this way I can just kind of do my circle over the top. And so it lines up with the bottom. I'm pretty sure it's going to go where I need it to go. And then I'm going to stamp and hope for the best. Sometimes we stamp and we hope for the best and it doesn't work. I was going to try to go back and do a double stamp. And I thought, you know what? It's just black ink. I'm just going to go in with a Copic friendly fine liner pen and fill in the rest of my bee there. So no worries that it didn't stamp all the way. And I'm just making sure that my barn scallops are going to line up with my happy birthday scallops on the backside. It's not a huge deal, but I want my happy birthday to be more up and down, and I want my barn to be standing and not leaning. So that's why I kind of made sure that I was where I needed to be. Now I'm going to come in with 2 toothpicks here on this one. These ones are actually bamboo skewers, I think, like food picking up skewers. I just like them for cupcake toppers. They give me a little bit more area to glue on than a toothpick does. Toothpicks work fine as well, but I like the added strength that these give because, let's be honest, my stuff tends to be a lot of layers and a lot of weight. So once I am done with that, I'm going to set a acrylic block on it to keep it all tucked in together and let that glue dry well. Well, good. Anyways, I know I'm going to have some extra images here. I know I'm going to have an extra cow and an extra pig. Keep in mind, I know I still have my card to make, so I kind of have an idea in my head for my card. And so I'm trying to only use the images that I think I'm going to have that are left over. Now, after I'm all done with everything, I think I ended up making a couple of more of little tractor picks because I had some tractors left over. So once these are all put together and all dry, I can set them off to the side and work on the next piece for my decor. So there are a wide variety of what I actually ended up making for my cupcake picks. They're pretty easy, pretty fun to put together, and they're cute. I hope you have an amazing day and see you soon. Bye!